Broad Street Sports, the best Philly sports podcast.
What's up, everybody? It's officially a Football Friday, and it's not only a regular Football Friday, it's a playoff Football Friday. I'm excited. The Packers come into South Philly to play the Birds. I'm ready. I'm excited. But before we get into this podcast, I just want to tell you, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. Make sure you go and follow the Spotify, and leave a comment down below if you're worried about this game Sunday. I know I am. We'll get into it. But again, before we do, make sure if you guys want to call in and talk about anything, the Anytime Hotline is open. The number is 215-839-8246. That's the Anytime Hotline. So if you guys would like to get in on the conversations we have going around here on Broad Street Sports, go ahead and give that number a call. And without further ado, let's get into the episode. I'm worried about this football game Sunday. And for all you people that are saying that the Eagles are just going to steamroll the Packers, I think you're crazy. You are underestimating the Packers. Now, I am still confident in the Eagles. I still think the Eagles are going to win, but my confidence has dropped since that Washington game. I don't think the Eagles are going to easily blow this team out. Jalen Hurts hasn't played in 2.5 weeks. He hasn't practiced in 2 weeks. He just cleared protocol. Then A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith barely practiced this week with the offense. The Packers have really nothing to lose. So I still have confidence in the Eagles. I still think they're going to win. But to say that I'm not worried at all about this Eagles team is absolutely crazy. You have to be at least a little bit worried. You have to be nervous. This team hasn't played together. Jalen Hurts is obviously going to be rusty. And he's not the only one that's going to be rusty. We don't know how A.J. Brown's going to play. We don't know how Devontae Smith's going to play. We can say whatever we want, however we want about this team and how they're going to play. We don't know the facts. We don't know the facts. Now, obviously, Green Bay's missing a couple of their key players. Then you have Jordan Love had that banged up hand, the banged up elbow. That doesn't, obviously, not to wish injury on people, but that's in the Eagles' favor. But as this week goes on, as this week continues, to start the week, I was like, okay, Packers, it's going to be tough, but I think this Eagles team is much, far better than the Packers team, and I still think they are. But as the week is going on, I found, and I'm starting to feel more reasons why this game is more evenly matched than we all think. It's more evenly matched than everybody thinks. Jordan Love is still there. He says he's ready to go. Josh Jacobs is ready to go. The Green Bay's got a good tight end. They got 2 speedy receivers. Now, obviously, Watson's out. But I don't think, I don't think that's enough. Obviously, your star receiver's out, and that's not, that works in the Eagles' favor. But that's not, I don't think that puts Green Bay over the edge of just beating us, even if they had him, you know what I mean? Or, I don't think that they can't beat us without him. You know what I mean? Without him, they could easily beat us. So I don't know. I'm probably worrying too much, probably thinking too much about this, and that's not good. But I'm still excited. I'm still happy. I think this team could very easily, hopefully, probably going to win a Super Bowl. I think they're at least going to go to the conference game. But if they don't, I got to tell you this. If the Eagles go to the NFC Championship game, it'll be because they beat the Packers. If they don't go to the championship game, it'll be because they lost to the Packers. I think, And I may be the only one on this, but I think this Packers game may be the toughest game of the Eagles may play. It's what it is. And you saw it last year. The Packers are a sneaky good team. They're a good team. Last year they were sneaky good. This year they are good. You can't underestimate them. And you saw last year they beat the Cowboys. Now, obviously, the Cowboys, you can't say, oh, well, they beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys are not a playoff team. But I'm just saying, not saying you have to fully worry and fully be scared and fully say, oh my God, this team's going to lose. But just stay cautious. Stay ready. Don't get your hopes up yet, folks. Don't do it. Do not do it. Okay. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this show. This game, this postseason run, revolves around Jalen Hurts. It revolves around, can Jalen Hurts dust off the rust he has? Can Jalen Hurts figure his way back to the way that he was playing before he got hurt? Will Jalen Hurts be a factor with his running? Hopefully they don't run him. Will Jalen Hurts be a problem for the Packer defense? Will he? Here's what something needs to be said. And I don't think enough people are talking about this. I think people really are overlooking what this is, and the fact that Jalen Hurts has something to prove. Jalen Hurts absolutely has something to prove in this postseason. Everybody's talking about, Jalen Hurts has nothing to prove, all this stuff. Absolutely has something to prove. As a NFL starting quarterback, being paid $255 million, you absolutely have something to prove. I mean, so let me just say this. Jalen Hurts has something to prove, just like Josh Allen does, just like Lamar Jackson does. All of these guys have something to prove. All of them. So let me just say this. Jalen Hurts has something to prove. And for all the people that's saying that he doesn't have anything to prove, you're crazy. There is already a good part of this fan base that does not like Jalen Hurts, doesn't think he can pass. And the fact that he hasn't played in 2 weeks, he hasn't practiced, and he has not gotten out of the first round, besides for 1 year, this man has something to prove. He's being paid $255 million. He absolutely has something to prove. He has to prove all the haters wrong. He has to get out of the first round. He has to show that he can pass the ball in crucial time, that he can be efficient passing. Jalen Hurts has a lot to prove. He has something to prove that he could still be a legitimate passer, a legitimate quarterback in this league. Just like Josh Allen does, just like Lamar does. They have something to prove. All the people that are just like me that are not fans of Jalen Hurts don't think Jalen Hurts is a good passer. He has to prove us wrong. And not only this game, but the entire postseason run the Eagles hopefully are about to go on. This man has something to prove. And it's simple as that. It really is simple as that. They have something to prove. And that's literally, you can't say a quarterback doesn't have anything to prove. That's insane. That's literally insane. Whatever. The man has gotten out of the first round once. he has to prove that he can get out of there again. And he has to prove that he could be a passer, that he could be a legitimate problem with the pass, and keep the opposing defense on their feet. That's what it is. That's literally all that this is. That's all it is. This game, this postseason run, as I stated, revolves around Jalen Hurts. So again, I mean, just to continue on Jalen, I have two more topics that I want to touch on with Jalen, and one of them being the rust. I'm nervous about the rust. I really am. So here it is. I am nervous for Jalen Hurts. I think he's going to be very, very rusty. The fact that he just started to practice this week, hasn't practiced in 2 weeks, didn't play in 2 weeks. I think he's going to have some serious rust. And we've already seen that Jalen Hurts has a hard time playing well coming off time. I think he's going to be rusty, and you cannot be rusty in a postseason game. You cannot start slow in a postseason game. So I'm looking at Jalen Hurts, and I'm thinking, man, I'm hoping you can show up to play. I'm hoping that you're easily able to shake off the rust. I'm hoping that you are ready to pass the ball and be an elite player like we know you can be. It's what it is. He's going to be rusty, and I think not only he's going to be rusty, but the entire offense is going to be rusty. This entire offense is going to be rusty. So, really, it's what it is. I think this Eagles offense is going to be rusty for this Packers game. You have not had a practice this week where the entire offense has practiced together. Obviously, A.J. Brown missed on Thursday. Devontae misses today, Friday. And Jalen Hurts has not practiced in about 2.5 weeks. Hasn't played in a legitimate game in 2 weeks. I think they're going to be rusty. I think Jalen's going to be rusty. And it really just comes down to how long will it take this team to actually shake off the rust? Will they come out firing on all cylinders? Or how long will it take for them to actually get rolling? How long will it take for them to play like we know they can play? That comes down to Jalen Hurts. It comes down to Jalen Hurts as the quarterback. You are the facilitator. You are the field general. You have to do your job. Hopefully he will do it. Hopefully he is ready to go. I don't know. Hopefully he's ready to go. So obviously we do have some news. As I stated, I forgot to bring this up. But Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith have all cleared injury protocol and are available and are going to play this Sunday against Green Bay, which is all good signs. Obviously, A.J. did not play on Thursday. Practiced for about 10 minutes and then left the field with feeling some discomfort. And then Devontae Smith had a feeling in his leg. He did not practice today either. So, I mean, again, this team has not practiced fully together in a little bit, which may hurt him, may bite him in the ass. We don't know. I mean, we really do not know, and there's no clear answer to that. But I mean, it is. I don't know. Hopefully, it does not hurt them like I think it will. Another thing that is just that I think that I touched on to start the show, but I have not brought up again. That really needs to be discussed, and it's the fact that people are overlooking the Packers. They're overlooking the Green Bay Packers. So, I mean, I don't know why you would do that. We are in the postseason. You cannot overlook any team in the postseason. It doesn't matter who they are. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter anything. If you are in the postseason, you are a good enough team to beat the team you are playing. So let me just state this. I can't believe people are overlooking the Green Bay Packers. I really can't. This team, obviously without Christian Watson, obviously with a banged up Jordan Love, they are still a very good team. They were 11-6. And the NFC North being 11-6 is a very good record. And let me just state this. The Packers are 8th in the league in first half scoring. And the Eagles we already know the Eagles are not very good at first half scoring. Especially now with a probably rusty Jalen Hurts and a probably rusty offense. That may hurt them. The Packers are able to score in the first half, and the Eagles have a hard time. It may put the Eagles in a disadvantage. So the fact that the people are overlooking the Green Bay Packers, they're well coached, they have a very good quarterback, they have a very good run game with Josh Jacobs. They still have two fast receivers. Obviously, they're not like Christian Watson, but they're two good receivers. Very fast, and they have a good tight end. So the fact that people just think the Eagles are going to steamroll the Packers is insane to me. I don't trust that. I think the Eagles will win. I think they'll take care of business, but it's not going to be the blowout that everybody and their mother is expecting. It's not. It's just not. And it's simple. Simple as that. So, I have two more topics here that I want to touch on. Then we have a call in. One last thing that I really want to touch on is the fact you need Jake Elliott. You need Jake Elliott. So here it is. I understand that we are not very confident with Jalen Hurts. Whatever. Look, I know we're not very confident with Jake Elliott right now. But the way I feel about this game, you are going to need Jake Elliott. I think Jake Elliott is going to be the guy that's going to win you this football game. He's going to have to nail a late game kick from pretty far out, and you're going to have to trust that he's going to make it. So you need Jake Elliott to be on the top of his game. It's going to be cold at the link. Both defenses are going to be good. I really believe Jake Elliott is going to step up. He's going to be the guy that's going to take care of business and really give the Eagles this win. I really do. And we can say whatever we want. I know we don't have a lot of faith. I know we don't have a lot of trust in him. But you have to put a little bit of trust in him. He has shown over the year, over his career, he has been able to knock down some really, really, really big kicks. That I truly believe that this man is going to do it against Green Bay. And I hope he will. I know he will. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. I really am. But I do think that this game comes down to a field goal. I really do. I think it'll be like 24-21, 31-28. And then in that case, you really do need Jake Elliott. You need Jake Elliott to hit every field goal he has, every extra point. You have to make sure he is on his A game. So, I think that's another thing that people are really overlooking is the fact that you need Jake Elliott. Again, there's a lot of factors that go into this football game, but that is really another one. Nick Sirianni. Now, I think, if Nick Sirianni loses first round, I think there needs to be some serious consideration about his job. Serious talks need to happen about his job. Now, I know they're most likely going to keep him because he turned things around. But you need to have the serious conversation that this man has only gotten out of the first round once in his career as a coach. And has already shown flashes that he has a hard time keeping his emotions in check. It's not a good look. But I'm not saying that, I'm not saying that the Eagles are just going to not win. But I do say if we do lose first round, and especially if we get blown out, people will be coming for his job, and I think serious talks need to happen about Nick Sirianni's job. Simple as that. Simple as that. So, we do have a call in here on Broad Street Sports. Again, the anytime hotline is so obviously I do a lot of these regular podcasts, but I'm going to start doing live streams again. And for the live streams, we're going to be able to have live conversations like a radio chat. And then also, like our regular call-ins, you could just leave a voicemail, and then I will use it in the podcast. So that number again is the anytime hotline number is 215-839-8246. So let's take a listen here to our first call-in. Here it is.
What's going on, Broad Street? It's Joe here from Swedesboro. I'm just calling in to talk about the Bears' upcoming game on Sunday. I'm really concerned. Jalen Hurts has not been on the football field, and considering both of these receivers, have been spotty all week at practice and not playing, this offense is really scaring me coming into Sunday, and I just want to know your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely, Joe. Absolutely. I've talked about this. I've said this. I think that they're going to be rusty. Simple as that. I'm nervous about Jalen Hurts. Not really as much with the receivers. And it's not really even Jalen Hurts. It's just the fact that Jalen Hurts has not had full practices with his entire offensive line, with his entire receiving core. He hasn't had it. It's been spotty. There's been a couple guys. So I think that's something we really do have to look out for is the fact that they're going to be rusty. As I stated before, Joe, thank you for the call, but this all comes down to how will the Eagles respond and how long will it take for the cobwebs to shake off. They may come out firing on all cylinders. They may. But they're also most likely probably going to be very sluggish. So something to look out for. Thank you for the call, Joe. It's a good call. I appreciate it. Please call in again. So again, that anytime hotline number, you could be just like Joe. You join up here at Broad Street Sports. The number again, 215-839-8246. That's the Broad Street Sports anytime hotline. So yeah, I've touched on everything that I really did want to touch on. You have to be, in postseason games, you have to be a little bit cautious. You have to be a little bit worried about what you are going to see, how you're going to feel. Any team can be beaten any Sunday. Everybody knows it, especially in the postseason. I'm still excited. I'm still confident. I still think the Eagles are going to win, but I do think it's going to be a very, very, very close game. I think our defense is going to play really well. I think their defense is going to play is very tough, but I really do think it just comes down to how quick can Jalen Hurts and this Eagles offense shake off the rust, get back to business, and play ball the way that we know how they could play ball. But I'm still very confident. I'm still very happy. I'm excited, and I am ready to see the Eagles play in the divisional round. If we lose, I got to tell you, I really do not want to come on here Sunday night, then Monday, and talk about an Eagles team that's going to friggin' Cancun. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to do it. I'm not ready for that right now. I don't need my mental Philadelphia sports fan health to be hurt again. But thank you all for tuning in to the podcast. I really do love and appreciate every single one of you. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment if you are worried in the slightest or at all about this game Sunday. And again, if you guys want to, feel free to call the Anytime hotline. That will be in the description below. Thank you all for tuning into the podcast. I really, really, really do love and appreciate every single one of you. Have a good night.